The Philadelphia Eagles are making moves that could either solidify them as an untouchable dynasty or backfire in the most catastrophic way imaginable. The front office just pulled the trigger on two massive decisions that are going to define the future of this defense for years to come. But while everyone is hyper-focusing on these superstar players, there is a silent, massive loss happening behind the scenes that most fans are completely sleeping on. Something is shifting in the organization, and if you aren't paying attention, you're going to miss the most important storyline of the year. Before we dive into the fallout of these massive moves and reveal the hidden crisis in the front office, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest, realest NFL updates on the planet. Let's talk about these roster moves. The Eagles have officially exercised the fifth-year options on two of their biggest defensive assets, Jaylen Carter and Nolan Smith. Look, if you haven't been following the draft history, you need to understand that ever since the infamous Jalen Reagor mistake, Howie Roseman has essentially been playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He has completely rebuilt the core of this team through the first round, and these two guys are the crown jewels of that philosophy. Selecting Jaylen Carter at number 9 and grabbing Nolan Smith shortly after with a masterclass in roster building. It instantly fortified the defensive line and injected youth into a unit that desperately needed an identity. Now, by picking up these options, the team has locked them in for the 2027 season. For Carter, that means his contract is fully guaranteed for a massive $27. $1 million. That is a heavy price tag, but it is the cost of doing business when you have an all-pro talent on your defensive front. It is a high number, sure, but when you look at what he does on the field, it is worth every single penny. Then you have Nolan Smith. He is also entering a crucial stage with his 2027 contract now locked in at $13. $8 million. Some of you might be asking, why do this now? Why lock these guys up so early? It is all about control. If the Eagles had sat on their hands, both of these guys would have been unrestricted free agents after the 2026 season. They would have hit the open market, and someone else could have swooped in to steal them away. By exercising these options, the Eagles are basically saying, you are staying here, you are part of our future, and we are not letting you go without a fight. It is a proven strategy. They did the exact same thing with Jordan Davis last year, and it worked out beautifully. It keeps the core intact. It gives the players stability. But wait until you hear the real reason why this is such a risky game to play. Because while these guys are locked in, the pressure to produce is now officially at an all-time high. Are we actually watching a front office genius at work? Or are they just stalling for time while praying these guys stay healthy? Think about it. Jaylen Carter has been a force of nature, but we saw a dip in his performance during that 2025 campaign. Was it laziness? Was it a lack of focus? No, it was injuries. Those bilateral shoulder issues were clearly holding him back. When he is healthy, he is arguably the most disruptive defensive tackle in the entire league. But the question everyone in the city of Philadelphia is asking is, can he stay on the field? Can he stay healthy for a full 17-game season and dominate like he did in his rookie year? And then there is Nolan Smith. His sack numbers haven't been jumping off the page, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He plays with a level of violence and physicality that you just cannot coach. He sets the edge like a veteran, and he has become the heart and soul of that locker room. He fills that leadership void that players like Brandon Graham are eventually going to leave behind. He is the glue. But even with that, the expectation for 2026 is simple. We need to see the production match the potential. We need to see those sack numbers climb. But let's get into the spicy territory. Could the Eagles actually trade one of these guys? I know, it sounds insane. But with Howie Roseman, we absolutely cannot lose. We saw them make aggressive moves, like trading for Jonathan Greenid and signing other edge rushers. They have options. They have flexibility. If they decide that they don't want to hand out massive, long-term extensions to both Carter and Smith, they might look to move one of them to acquire more draft capital or to balance out the cap situation. It is the business of the NFL, and it is cutthroat. Who is the one player you are most terrified of losing to a trade this season? Is it the powerhouse tackle or the heart and soul edge rusher? Drop a name in the comments right now. I want to see who you guys are actually betting on. But now, we have to talk about the other elephant in the room. The piece of news that actually scares me more than any potential trade. The Eagles have lost a key figure in their front office. Bryce Johnston, a major player in the team's salary cap management and contract negotiations, has been poached by the Atlanta Falcons. He is heading out to take a massive role as the senior vice president of football administration. Let that sink in for a second. The Atlanta Falcons are a team that has been wandering in the wilderness ever since that Super Bowl collapse against New England. They are desperate. They're starving for success. And how they try to fix it? They go straight to the gold standard. They go straight to the Philadelphia Eagles and steal one of the guys responsible for our success. This is a massive loss. Bryce Johnston was the guy. He was the guy working behind the scenes, cooking the books, manipulating the salary cap, and making sure the Eagles stayed under that limit while still fielding a roster full of superstars. Since the departure of Jake Rosenberg, Johnston was the one holding the line. Losing him is a signal that the rest of the league is catching on. They know the Philadelphia way of doing business is the best way, and they're doing everything in their power to mimic it by rating our staff. Some might say this is just the price of success. Good organizations lose coaches. Good organizations lose executives. It happens every single year because other teams want a piece of that winning culture. But when you look at the track record since 2001, it is undeniable. 8 NFC championship games. For Super Bowl appearances. 2 rings in the last decade. No other team in NFC has that kind of resume. And teams like Atlanta see that they're jealous of that, and they're willing to pay big money to bring that expertise into their own building. The statement Johnston put out after leaving was pure class. He thanked Jeffrey Lurie. He thanked Howie Roseman, and he acknowledged how special it was to be part of the machine that is the Eagles organization. He talked about the competitive advantage that Philadelphia chases every single day. That's the culture we have built. It is a machine that runs at the highest level, and even when people leave, the expectation remains the same. Win everything, every single year. So, where does this leave us? We have locked up our defensive stars for the future. We have the best general manager in the league steering the ship. But we are also losing key talent in the front office. It is a period of transition, but it is also a period of opportunity. The Eagles have never been a team to sit back and get comfortable. They're always looking for the next advantage, the next edge, the next move to get back to the Super Bowl. The roster is talented. The defensive core of Carter and Smith is going to be the foundation for the next few years, provided they stay healthy and continue their development. The coaching staff is set. The front office is going to have to find new ways to manage the cap, but I have full faith in the leadership to keep this team afloat and competitive. The real question isn't about whether we made the right move with the 5th-year options. That was obvious. The real question is how this team handles the loss of internal expertise. Can they keep the magic alive without some of the key architects of the salary cap? Can they continue to find value when everyone else is trying to copy their playbook? This is the reality of being a fan of a successful team. The rest of the league is always coming for your stuff. They want your players, they want your coaches, and they want your executives. It is a compliment, sure, but it is also a challenge. And if there is one thing we know about this organization, is that they don't back down from a challenge. They thrive on it. So, keep your eyes on the training camp reports. Keep your eyes on those contract negotiations. And keep watching this space, because we're going to break down every single move as it happens. We aren't going anywhere, and neither is this team. The road to another championship is long, it is winding, and it is full of landmines, but we're going to walk it together. Thanks for sticking with us through all the highs and the lows. You guys are the heartbeat of this community, and I appreciate every single one of you who tuned in today. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out to help us grow this channel, and keep those comments coming. We'll be right back here with more updates, more analysis, and more of the honest truth about your team. Catch you in the next one.